Good morning and welcome to week 4. Can you believe it? At the end of this week, we will be a quarter of the way through through the spring semester. It's hard to believe that it's going that quickly, but it definitely is. Let's go ahead and take a look at what week 4 is bringing you as far as English 221. As you know, we are working on our essay number 1 assignment. So right now I'm looking at the modules. I would absolutely encourage you, if you are not already, to go through the modules. This week there's quite a lot of instruction in the module that will kind of help you when it comes to writing the rough draft, to constructing your thesis, and really to kind of move out of some of that formulaic writing that you may be accustomed to using. So in just looking at the module, I'll kind of skim down so you can see it looks like a lot. Keep in mind some of these are little reminders. The last part of the module, this is some extra credit for you. So you've got your overview and objectives. Again, this page has all of your due dates. I post the assignment in every module when we're working on that essay. So every time you see this, don't think this is just a new assignment. It's the same. I'm just reposting it for you. This rough draft page, it's a repeat of the video that I included in the module from last week. So if you did not get a chance to watch it, please do, because I will probably answer most of your questions about the rough draft. I do want to show you the writing skills page here. So what I would encourage you to do is to read through this online textbook page about paragraph and paragraph structure, because what it does is it kind of gives you some clearer idea, if you will, about constructing paragraphs. Now you might think, but Ms. Miller, we've learned about paragraphs, we know how to write a paragraph. Well, yes, right? You're in an advanced comp class, right? Clearly you must know how to write a paragraph. But what I think it does is it kind of underscores some of the importance of a paragraph. It talks about cohesion, right? We don't really talk about cohesion when we're in an English 100 class. We don't talk about coherence when we're in an English 100 class, right? Or kind of the importance of those key or topic sentences. And so I think that this reading is really kind of just serves as some important reminders for you. The next page also talks about the thesis statement. And the thesis statement, this page is really important, especially if you struggle with that 3-part thesis, right? Like if you are really comfortable in that space of writing a thesis that clearly has part 1, part 2, part 3, right? For sure you need to read through this page, because part of what our goal is to complicate our thinking, is to dive into those more complex topics that don't allow us to use that form of a thesis any longer, because it's not sustainable, right? A 3-part thesis is great for earlier essays and earlier courses, but in English 221 and really kind of moving forward, you're not going to be able to write those 3-part thesis statements any longer. So if you are struggling with that, then absolutely take a look at the writing skills page on the thesis statement here. All right, let me go ahead and move back into modules. So we can kind of continue our scan of week 4. Okay. So some information about paragraphs, information about the thesis statement, a reminder to sign up for a conference with me. Again, especially because you have your rough draft due this week. The conference is an assignment. So you can meet with me this week. You can wait until you get the rough draft feedback, so you can meet with me next week if you'd like. But the whole idea of a conference is to talk about the essay. Now, if you have questions, if you're still really struggling with the essay topic and you just don't know what to write about, then send me an email and I'm happy to have a conference earlier this week with you if you would like. I don't really have any conference availability until tomorrow or Wednesday, but if you want to meet today, Monday, great. Send me an email, we'll figure something out. I don't have student hours until later in the week, but again, I'm happy to see if I can work something out to meet with you if you would like to meet. The rough draft is due on the 16th. And so you do have a grace period, and I would encourage you to use it if you're struggling. And if you're not sure how much you need to write for your rough draft, then go back and watch the video that I posted here, especially if you're trying to get credit for it. You have 2 readings this week. The first reading 1.5, and then 2 shorter ones, 1.6 and 1.7. And keep in mind that all of these readings are designed to give you information and various perspectives and lenses that are all related to essay number 1 and the topic. So what I would almost encourage you to do is to read these articles before you start your rough draft in earnest. And that way you can possibly incorporate them. Your mentor text this week is called How to Survive a Bear Encounter. It's actually a really kind of funny article. But your writing territory skill that you're focusing on this week is the colon. And so there's a video in here, reminder about the colon. Most of us know what it is, but most of us don't ever use it. And so the goal is to really try to incorporate it into your writing. This week you also have your first quarter of the semester reflection. So every 4 weeks in this class, I give you a little reflection. It's a quiz, but the quizzes are really more of just a did you do it? You get the points. Did you not do it? You don't get the points. Just kind of checking in with how you're doing in the class so far, what you're completing, what you're not completing, whether or not you feel like you're on track with your own goals. So that is due by Sunday. And then you have 1 extra credit. It is an article or kind of an essay written by Amy Tan called Mother Tongue. You may have read this in English 100 or in another class. And if you've read it, then that's great. You can complete the extra credit. But especially for those of you who are writing about being multilingual or even learning a new language and kind of thinking about language and the worldview, I think Mother Tongue is something that you could potentially draw on for your essay. And then that's it. So what will happen after you submit your rough draft, I will be giving feedback on that. And so on the rough draft assignment, you'll see that you are going to be submitting a Google Doc and giving me editing access. That editing access is really important. I'm not going to edit your essay. I'm not going to write on your essay, but I am going to post comments. And so if you feel more comfortable giving me commenting access, that's fine. Most students just do editing because it's a little easier. Doesn't matter. But if you just give me viewing access, yes, I'll be able to read your essay, but I won't be able to give you specific feedback in certain places. So just kind of keep that in mind. But you'll start seeing my feedback within the first couple of days. And so I'll just kind of release that as I go through all of the drafts. So you might be on the first wave, you might get your feedback early, you might be on the second wave, you might get your feedback later. But I'll have the feedback back to kind of return to everybody within 4 or 5 days of the rough draft due date. Okay, I think that's it for the week. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you want to meet with me for a conference, please let me know, especially if my times don't work for you and you want to meet, then by all means send me an email and we will figure something out. But if I don't hear from you, I hope that you have a great week and happy writing in the draft.